Let me start with what is partial class. Can anybody tell me what is partial class? Why we need partial class? Partial class. What is partial class? Why we need partial class? Let's assume we have a class called employee. Here we have method public get employee details. Salary details, and here I have project details. For example, let's assume this class, employee class, which is very bigger, which will have more than 1000 lines of code. So that, but all this information is related to employee only. Suppose if it is a different information, we can create a separate class, that is fine, okay. But here all this information is related to employee only. So that's why we have created a single class which is very bigger. But in real time, we should not support this type of bigger classes within single class. We have to divide as much as possible. So that is scenario 1. Okay. So one scenario is more number of lines of code. And scenario 2, we have, for example, you get a requirement from client. Today, I want employee class. So if a one developer want to implement this class, okay, employee get employee details one day, this is one day, this is one day. It will take 3 days, let's assume. Or there are some other methods like around 7 more methods are there, 10 methods are there. One employee, if he want to implement, it will take 10 days of time to implement. So what a client is asking, I want by today end of the day. So how can I give? I want to give each method to each employee, I mean our current employee, okay. So each method I want to give one employee to, so that I can give it to 10 people. By end of the day, I want to combine that code. Again, combining also difficult, right? So combining that 10 members code will be difficult. So what I can do, I can create like a partial classes. So what is this partial class? Okay. So now, if you want to create one more class with same name, so here I'll give like only get employee details, and I'll create one more class. So now it does not allow. What is saying? The namespace console app 6. This namespace already contains a definition for employee. There is a definition for already employee. So with same name, you cannot create one more class. So either you can give different name or something else. But our requirement is to keep the same name. So what I can do, I will create like a partial classes. Partial class employee, partial class employee, partial class employee. Partial, the word itself saying it is part of the class. So now no error. Okay. So here I am going to give. So for example, I'll declare one variable here. Public int roll number. See guys, what will happen? If you try to create same variable in another class, it will throw error. Employee already contains a definition. Okay, so you no need to create here. You can use that. So you no need to create one more variable again. So you can reuse that. So now here I'll display emp id is roll number. Next, here salary. emp salary is salary. I have a project here. So if you want to display employee ID here, you can display, because you can able to access, because this will act like a single class. Because it will act like a single class so that you can able to access, right? So when you compile, okay, partial class, when you compile, so this is the purpose of creating partial classes. And when you compile, it acts like a single class. Not only act, it will become like a single class. So for physically it look like different class. When you compile it, it will be same class. For example, so roll number I have declared here so that I can able to access here, right? So that's why this is a single class. So now when you create the object for this class, employee equals new employee dot roll number equals 1001, employee dot name, no name, salary equals 50k, employee dot project equals ERP. So now on to access the methods, employee dot get personal details, employee dot get salary details, employee dot get project details. These are the three methods we have inside our partial class. So now, so this is one way creating the instance. So there is another way. Control KD, which will format the code correctly. This is the shortcut. Okay, Control KD. Now, so like this also we can able to access. Now let's debug this, how this will work. So partial class, when you want to divide the bigger logic into small number of pieces, that time we'll go for a partial class. And within limited type, if you want to implement the functionality or a project more faster, so divide the bigger logic into small number of units, give it to multiple developers so that parallelly development will be completed within given time. So that is the main purpose of the partial class. So partial class, when you compile it, it will become like a single class. Okay, so file looks like it is different classes, but when you compile it become like a single class. Okay, so now let's debug this. I have created the instance for the employee, so I assign those details. I am calling employee details, salary details, and project details. Employee ID 1001, salary 5k, 50k, project ERP. Again, in third method along with project, I also displayed employee ID, which is 1001. Understood, guys? Any doubts here? So which is very important, especially for interviews. So real time also will use much less, but in the perspective of interviews, almost if you attend 2 to 3 interviews, this question will be there, mandatory. These things, previous class and today classes, especially static class, seal class, partial class, these things will be there, mandatory. Without yesterday and today's class, there won't be any C# interview, guys. That much important. Any doubts here? Or you want any one more example? Let me know. What is partial class? Bigger logic, divide into small number of pieces, and when you want to implement the code so faster, that time also we'll go for a partial class. And third, when you compile a partial class, which will become a single class, and once you declare some properties, variables, fields, methods in one class, same methods or fields, properties, if you want to declare in another class, it doesn't allow. It will say it is already implemented, only you can reuse those things. Hope all of you understood.